What's up, guys? Real quick before the video start, just wanted to add a note. At first, intended to record some clips of his tower, chop it up into sections, but we ended up just chatting about his tower for, I don't know, an hour and a half or so, sort of like the first tower cast with Strom. So rather than cut up everything, just did some editing of like the longer pauses, cleaned it up a bit. I'm gonna put it out kind of like it is, more like a tower tour from the community, if you will. If you guys have some feedback for Broski, leave it in the comments, please. I might make some more of these if you guys are interested in the longer form extra content. If you have like a strange or unique build or different ideas about the game, would love to talk with you also. All right, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, YouTube and Tower Defenders. Ethan DX here again. This time with a little different type of video. We have a member of the community reached out, asked me if I would take a look and review their tower, or at least give some feedback. I want to start with saying I don't claim to be kind of expert in any area of the game, and just offer my perspective as kind of a EHP free to play ish player. But certainly said we could talk about it, and hopefully some of you watching can maybe chime in below in some comments. You guys have been super helpful for me, and I'd love some feedback here for our friend. But yeah, today we have Littix here. He's been in my guild, Jetpack Ninjas, for
Yeah,
a little over a month, right? I think you joined in January. Go ahead and introduce
yeah,
yourself.
earlier this year. Yeah, I've been playing the tower for since really January of last year. So a little over a year, but I started over in like October of 24. I didn't play too much. I really just logged in and claimed daily missions. That was like the only thing I did for a while. And I don't do like a full time. I only play on my main phone. So if I'm ever like watching videos or anything like that, I don't have the tower up. So it's a little bit different in that aspect. My tower isn't as developed. But that's why I just wanted to kind of get your opinion. I also do exclusively EHP, which you are familiar with. So I wanted to see what you'd have to say.
Sure, yeah, that's something I could definitely lean my feedback on a little. Although I used to, I won't say until lately, I was kind of kidding myself and saying that I was hybrid for a while because I kept wanting to be a hybrid. But the more I'm thinking about it, like I'm just might as well embrace the EHP and advance in that direction. I think it's going to help me. So quit
Yeah,
trying to
the only
bounce
damage
around.
I put in is for my death wave to get up to max health. That's the only reason I care about damage.
Yeah, no, it does certainly help. Well, it helps a lot in Champion League. Once you get to Legends, I found that it doesn't seem to do too a lot for me there. I intro sprint my way through higher waves usually, which you don't build death wave off of or death wave health off of that. So,
I am
um,
noticing diminishing returns in champions the higher I climb in it.
I was kind of curious, like a little bit more too about yourself. Like, when did you first hear about the tower, and what got you interested in playing?
I mean, that's that ad that everyone sees, like the developer of the tower idle defense game uh, on YouTube. I forget all the exact terminology that he uses, but it's just an ad on YouTube, and I was like, oh, that looks fun, and I installed it, played it for a while, realized it required way more patience than I had at the moment, and then kind of stopped really playing it extensively. I just would log in to claim the missions because at that point my farming runs were getting like nowhere near as much as the missions were giving me, and then like January after of 25 rolled around, I was like, okay, let me start playing this game a little bit more. It's actually kind of fun. And then, yeah, I've just been on it pretty extensively ever since. Like I said, I don't have a dedicated device for it. So I just use it on my phone. So if I'm like on TikTok or Instagram or texting or whatever like that, then I don't have it running. But every time I'm like at work or sleeping or watching TV or something like that, I have it running at least, I would say, 18 hours a day.
Ah, okay. That was one of my questions was how often that you played it and what kind of devices you used and kept it going or not. Um,
Yeah.
I
I need to
pretty
get a
much
dedicated
have mine
device.
going all the time now that I can just leave a tablet running all the time. So even if I were to leave the house and stuff, I just make sure like, okay, I'll be good for X amount of hours. Let's go. It'd be nice one day when
Yeah.
we can get auto restart.
That would be very, very nice. And I've been thinking about just going to a pawn shop and buying like a really cheap tablet just to have it as like a dedicated device, but I haven't quite bit the bullet on that.
With the RAM prices these days, I don't know if it'd be cheap tablets anymore coming up,
Yeah, everything's
right?
going up.
Yeah. No, that's what I did. I bought a cheap refurbished. I mean, cheap comparatively. I spent $100, but to me, that was a lot. But it was also compared to like how much tablets and devices are, $100, and
A
also
new
renting
one?
a
Yeah,
cloud
100
phone
G.
over the course of the months. I figured do $100 in a one-time purchase, and it's almost been a year now, so I definitely have saved money over renting a cloud phone. Um,
Yeah, and I
and
see like in your
electric
videos
maybe.
when you pull up. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I see like when you pull up your stats page and like how many waves you've completed. It's just an absurd amount more than mine. And I'm like, yeah, maybe I should probably get a full time device. It seems like it helps a lot. You can just have so much more time to farm. You get so many more coins, all that sort of thing.
So go ahead and look at your history real quick, like your what's it called?
The stats
The
or
stat
battle
page,
history.
yeah.
That
So
page.
disclaimer too. Let me go back to my thing here. Yeah, you had asked me back in what, February? I think it was mid-February about looking into this, and you sent me some screenshots. So I put together
Yeah,
like a fancy like slideshow to show off. But then time got away from us. Uh, got a little busy. Both of us did, and just didn't have time to
yeah,
meet up till now. So they're a little out of date. So we're going to kind of wing this as a live update, but I'm going to kind of use them as a reference point. So I'm
yeah.
glad you're here
Biggest
though
thing
to
that's
show off your
changed since
current.
then,
Yeah, it was
in terms of coins.
2.2Q back then. So you're at four. Okay, you doubled. That's good.
Yes. So I changed my perks. I don't know why, but for probably a month, maybe 2 months, I was farming tier 12 without the coin health trade off because I just always assumed like, yo, EHP, I need health. Don't use that trade off. Then I saw somebody's video saying like it's fine to use it, and I put it on, and I've been getting about twice as much, if not more, coins over the past about 2 weeks for each run. So that's why my coins have gone up so much.
Perfect. Good. That was actually one of the things I had made in my notes. Was that I noticed I'm like, you're not using the coin trade-off. Let me go to my notes real quick. I might as well look at um might as well look at the perks for that. But yeah, I noticed that was the only thing I had comments on the perks is why aren't you using the coin trade-off? I would say I would replace the 50-50 with the coin trade-off. Um, because let me go back to your bands real quick. I think it was your bands.
Yeah, it was banned. I replaced it with I think like interest or
I don't know why I
something.
wrote
One of
50-50.
the
Maybe you had
commons.
50-50 on auto pick or something. But I was like, you need, oh, yeah, yeah, that's what it was. In your auto pick, you had 50-50. And I was like, if you, you can leave 50-50 in there, but at least get that, not, yeah, that one, because you had it banned. That's what I was going to ask you is, were you struggling with, because for a while I had it banned too for a long time because it was a struggle. Anytime I would pick up that perk, I would notice my tower ended like shortly after a lot. So if you pick it up too early, it was detrimental to the run.
I haven't had that issue at all. Probably because I've over leveled my health and everything a pretty sizable amount. I had like over 600 trillion before I used that, and now I'm down to like 180 trillion when I have that perk on. So it hasn't killed me during the run, but it has just helped me in a really heavy amount in my coins. And at first, it dropped my cells maybe like 10,000 because it dropped my waves by like 200. But over time, I've just kind of been leveling my health up with my module, and I've gotten kind of back up to that 18 or 8,000 I was getting before. So my cells are pretty much the same at this point. But it really has only been beneficial.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's basically two time. It's a 1.98. So you saying it doubled your coin? That's about what we would expect, right? It's a
Yeah.
almost a two-time increase. Um,
Yeah.
I noticed your stones is very similar to mine. So you haven't really have you bought any packs or maybe very few, if any, right?
I've bought like the New Year's and like the Black Friday like event packs, those really special ones. And then I've gotten the milestones up until like the 1 through 12. Or no, sorry, the 10 through 12. I've gotten that one, but I haven't got past that. That was gonna be my next like
Uh-oh.
big purchase if I do one is a milestone pack.
Well, I just restarted my run just to have it running in the background, and I did not
That's why I
put
stuttered
demon.
because
I
I
didn't do demon mode fast enough, and lost my second win. So at this next fleet, if I don't kill it, it's going to be game over.
oh no.
Normally, there's a I could kill most. I can kill like two of the fleets, but there's I think it's commander. I'm not going to kill it. So if I might end my run here at 4,500, that's okay.
I just did a tier 18 milestone push the other day and I saw a fleet for the first time. I've never actually seen one in a run, like looking at it. But
Oh
this,
yeah, no, they start in 14. But yeah, no.
yeah,
So what I was saying about the stones, but yeah, I noticed your stones were not significantly. It weren't really that high. Yeah, it looked like maybe you'd bought a pack or two here and there because you've been playing long enough to accumulate. Like I'm at like 24, but I've been hitting legends, and I noticed that in your screenshot. But that makes sense to why you're a little behind, and your coins earned and your progress if you're not playing all the time. So,
yeah,
um, if you're not being able to run it constantly, especially for a lot of that time, that would make sense.
yeah. I'd probably be closer to like 10Q at this point if I was doing it 24/7. But unfortunately,
And I think the rest of your perks, so we don't have to look at the perks there, but let's go ahead and check into your look at your workshop. Oh, actually, no, go down to there. Yeah, go down to your history. Sorry, we didn't finish looking at the waves. So where are you at? The milestones, the 18 is 145,
yeah, that's one I just did a couple of days ago. It was very recent.
317.
I usually farm tier 12, and I get about 8,000 right now.
Oh yeah, that's what I said. You were farming, and you're getting about. You were doing about 3.2 trillion an hour in tier 12, right? What are you at now?
Yeah, that has changed a lot. Unfortunately, I just did all my nuke a bunch of enemies. I regret doing that because it kind of cleared out my battle history. Um, but my coins per hour, my most recent was 10.12.
All right, yeah. So significant increases. So yeah, the main things that I saw you mentioned was like you fixed your sync with your UWs or your ultimate weapons, and then the coin trade off, right? So those seems to have helped a lot.
Yeah, with the black hole, or sorry, the golden tower and the death wave cooldown. When I dropped it, it went from at that point it was like 8.8 to about 8.98 trillion from my one run to the next. So it wasn't a huge jump in coins. There was one click that I did into, funny enough, my uh, flamebot damage reduction on accident. I didn't even realize I clicked it when I clicked it. It was just 3% into the damage reduction the first 100, and it sent me from 7,800 to 8,000. That's when I jumped up to here, and then it sent my coins from like almost 9 to over 9 trillion, almost close to 10. And then I had coin per kill bonus in the lab for a while, so it's been slowly but surely increasing it.
Awesome. Yeah, no, those have definitely been good ones compared to what the screenshot you sent me before. Um, In case I don't have really anything to add on your workshop that I saw in the screenshot, but go ahead and let's look at it. So in case anyone
Yeah.
that's watching that's curious where you're at, you look like you're pretty much balanced like I am. Yeah, you got like 57 there in damage. Um, you're pretty much just very close to maxing out in a run, right? Like in a tournament run, even
Yeah, I can definitely max out in a tournament run.
like
I got it
early.
to where I can max out my wall and that tier 18 and like 150 waves. My wall's a high enough level to where I can max it out while also putting a couple of clicks into my attack level skip, although it doesn't really do anything at that point because of the reduction.
320, that's
But I
good.
yeah, I just did a tournament run. That's why it's saying 3.62. Which have to
And then
there we go. 28. There
yeah,
it is.
28, that makes sense. But no, I saw it was 320. That was good. What's your health at? Is it No, no, sorry. The
5.
the health level skips. I'm just always a lot of people
Oh,
I know
health
don't.
level skips.
They don't. They'll focus just
22%.
on attack, but I kind of yeah. Okay, so you're kind of doing a mix too, but not quite as high in health.
Yeah, not really. I haven't put a lot into health in quite a
It
while. I
all
don't
helps a
remember the
little
last
bit.
time I did.
It'll help you chip away stuff.
Yeah.
Lowers their health just a bit, but good to focus on attack. What do your enhancements look like?
Uh,
157 damage, 153 crit factor, and then your
I'll put it
health.
into my damage or my attack enhancements since I got attack speed. I put a bit into attack speed, and that's kind of where I stopped here. I have also not touched these in a while. I've been mainly focusing on my coin bonus for um, trying to get up to like 750 multiplier and get more coins. And then when I mentioned that click into my flame bot that sent me up 200 levels, I had also put one click into my enemy level skip, and I didn't notice my flame bot. So I was like, oh my god, my one click into enemy level skip sent me up 200 levels. Let me put another click into it. And then I did that, and it didn't actually change much. And I realized after the fact. So that was a waste of 300 trillion.
Mm.
But yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it all adds up a little bit. I wouldn't say it's a waste because eventually you're going to put more into there down the road, but
Yeah.
you may have had other
Eventually.
things priority for it, is for sure. Yeah, so all that looks good though. I mean, only thing I would say if you're being EHP is, of course, is keep focusing more on defense from here forward.
I was investing in the attack speed just for like keeping like scatters away from the tower in a tournament. If there's just one scatter that pops up and I know he's going to kill me, just keep him as far away for as long as possible. Um, that's why I was putting a lot into attack speed.
Which
Yeah,
is knockback is yeah right. It keeps knockback, keeps things pushed back further. So
I definitely need to go back on my health. It's my after adding that health trade off. My health is my biggest issue right now. I need more overall.
yeah, that just takes time investing in both those. I would just keep them both even, wall health and health as you go up. Because eventually they start getting
Yeah,
so expensive that it's easier to go click on like a little bit regen, bring it up. Because the health, like yes, even though it feels like that's well in farming that's going to be where you're going to be more struggling for is health. Yeah.
yeah. Like my region kind of teleports it up to the top, and it's only like 120 or 180 trillion max health, and I regen like almost 40 trillion a second. So it shoots it up to the top pretty quickly. So it's just my overall health. Things are hitting for more than my entire health bar at that point, and it just kills me in one shot.
That's where I'm at. Where I'm getting hit with rays. Excuse me. When I get
Yeah,
into the
rays.
5,000, the rays are one shotting me when they get enough of them at once.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like I said, I didn't really have a whole lot to add on your enhancements and the workshop. That's all kind of standard. Just keep buffing up when you got the extra coin, um, in your defense and utility back and forth.
Yeah, the big one.
And then I think your bot was worked out pretty good, wasn't it? If I remember on your screenshot, you had a pretty good amount of medals. It looks like
Yeah, the thing I've spent the most money on in this game has definitely been event boosts,
the event
which is
passes,
probably
which are
like
cool. That's one
yeah,
thing that's a lot of people get a lot more of. And they're not near as expensive to pick those up.
yeah. From what I've heard you saying, apparently my duration and my bonus are a little bit
Yeah,
flip
swap
flopped.
those. I would swap those if you do a respec.
Hmm.
I'd probably do. In fact, I'm actually thinking about lowering my duration more. Um, I did a drop from where I had a numbers in another document I wrote one time. Yeah, it went from it was 4.6 to 6.2. So you're at 4.4 right now. So when I went from a 38 to a 34 second and a 4.6 to 4.2, and the extra coins was awesome. I lost the exact numbers when that the hack happened on the tracker site website thing, and they lost all their data. So
Oh yeah,
I don't have the exact number. It's in a video back there. I guess I could have maybe prepared better for this and went and looked it up. But
Mm. I
yeah,
remember you
you almost
talking
have the
about it. I
exact
remember
numbers
it.
I had when I flipped them, and I noticed a huge gain.
Yeah, I remember exactly what you're talking about. The reason I didn't have it like that when you were talking, that was a while back. It was a few months. Was because my cooldown in my golden tower was like 2 minutes 10 seconds at that point, and then with my G comp, it really wasn't completely synced up with my golden bot. So I was just trying to get the most uptime possible, so that it was synced up the longest time possible. But now that I'm gonna closing in on my golden tower having a 100-second cooldown, I'm definitely thinking about flipping these back over. Well, that way, I just wanted to be able to be synced up, and with a 50-second cooldown and a 100-second cooldown, then it's guaranteed sync. I don't have to have it pushing for most uptime possible, so I can lower the uptime but up the bonus.
See, you got your Flamebot worked on a lot better than mine. I didn't even have Flamebot at the time you sent me the picture, so
Yeah, you had actually mentioned in a video, and I was like, might as well. It's like 300 tokens, and I could just start working on the lab. So I bought the flame bot, and then I just put the lab in, and the lab is still going. It takes forever, but I was started working on that a couple of months ago.
yeah, mine's still going. I'm at 23. I put it up to 5 times though. I want to get it over with.
Yeah, yeah, you've already kind of caught up to mine. You put it in a lot later. That 5 times is nice.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's what and also the lab speed. I think you had your lab speed good if I remember when I looked over your labs though.
I mean, some people will call it good. Some people will call it terrible. It's really
Oh wait,
subjective
no, I
on
have a
that.
note that says lab speed makes everything faster. So like it must not have been that. Let's look at
It's
your
not
ultimate
great.
weapons though, because there was a note on your ultimate weapons that I had left about. I was curious about your cooldowns on your black hole and the duration. What's the objective there? It doesn't seem like your black hole is in permanent, right?
No, my black hole is permanent. I run G-comp, so it's permanent
Oh,
uptime.
that's okay.
Yes, yes.
Let me go
So
back
I
and see.
do need to get more clicks into this, but I would also need to put a lot more into my chrono field as well once I get these to 140 so that I can swap my G-comp for a black hole. But that would require a lot of investment into both the chrono field and a lot more into black hole, as well as the 1,300 it would take for those two. So I'm a
Well, you're
little bit of a
only
ways.
off by like, if I think I did my numbers right, I think if you just added the duration sub to your, or sorry, the cooldown sub mythic to PC, you'd be in permanent. But that's with Black Hole Digester, not G-Comp.
I have the duration ancestral on
Yeah,
my
yeah. But if
core.
you brought that down to, because you're at 47 with the you're at 47 seconds with the perk. So if you had a 3 second cooldown reduction, you'd be at 47 cooldown and 47 duration.
Yeah, I'm going for the 141 too to add another slot. I'm really need an extra slot for something.
That would put you off cycle in the beginning though. Like you wouldn't be especially when you get your golden tower and
You'd require the perk,
to 100.
the 12-second. Yeah. And then I'd have to. I really don't want to add more chrono field labs because the lab's like at 20 days at this point. But I'd rather sacrifice time than stone, so I might have to. Which honestly, I haven't noticed a huge difference adding a permanent chrono field. I have 22.5% damage reduction right now with it, and I don't think I noticed anything at all with it, to be honest.
Yeah, that's one that I don't have a whole lot because I don't even have chrono fields. So if anyone has any recommendations on anything he can do with that, cooldown looks good. I guess I don't like I said I don't know anything about chrono field. I haven't even researched it much because things change. You know, meta changes sometimes every few
Yeah.
months and every patches or so. So I was like, I don't even have it unlocked. I'm not specking this out yet.
Well, what happened was I was rolling my core and I got an ancestral chronofield duration, and then I was like, wait, let me look into that. And then I saw the lab was damage reduction, and I was like, that actually might be good. And so I spent about 2 months probably investing all my stones into the cooldown and duration, and then the lab time to get perma chronofield. And I don't think my tournament uh, placings. I think they actually went down because of the update with the uh, enemy level skips and all that sort of thing, and no increase whatsoever when I got permanent. So it was rather sad, but it's there for the future.
I did notice your death wave there, a little low. If you don't want to spend stones, I know you said you're not 141 yet, so kind of hard with the subs.
That was the next thing I wanted was the
I
quantity.
only
Yeah,
have that click to be honest. I am relying on a sub, but it sucks if you don't have the subs and like you only got 2 waves because I'm sure that's not great for your cells, right? Um, it
yeah, I
definitely
get
helps.
like 200, 1,000, and 8,000 rounds. Tier 12. So it's almost
Okay.
enough to have everything times four. If I was doing 24/7 running, I probably could have everything times four, but being that I don't do 24/7, I can't.
Yeah, that does put a hamper on the cells for sure. And then
Mm.
your chain lightning there already looks. I mean, only thing I'd say on that one, maybe a little a chance, but your damage is crazy. So
Yeah, that was when I got the what you call it, the Black Friday stone packs. I put pretty much almost everything into the damage there, uh, and it didn't really change much because I was doing EHP. And I didn't have my damage labs or really anything progressed. So I kind of faded off of that, and I was like, you know what, I'll just stay EHP.
it looked like you were doing when you sent me the screenshot before. It looked like you were doing like between top like 10. I think it was like 9 to 15 or so in champions is what you were placing.
I actually just had my furthest champion run earlier. It's been like 11, 11, 15,
Yeah, okay, so
12,
still around
19.
there roughly. You're definitely improving though over that last screenshot.
Yeah, depending on the bracket, they get a couple of outliers, like 10 to 12 in that range. I've been in there for quite a while.
Yeah, I don't really know how to advise you because you have different tools than I do even. Like you have like Chronofield can change things for tournaments. So I think I
Like I
just
said, I didn't notice a single difference when I got permanent chronofield. It really didn't change much.
well
I wish it
there may be
did.
something you could do that someone can leave some advice what he can do on his Chronofield to make that work a little better. Or does he need more
I would love
investment?
to
Because
know.
that would, I don't know.
Yeah. I only put a little bit into the speed reduction because I didn't mainly get it for the speed reduction. Although I know once you get like Chronofield Plus down the line and you have everything spiraling and it takes time for it to hit you, that matters. But I just put a couple of clicks in it because it goes up by like 5% each time, which is relatively sizable, just to kind of make it usable. But my main objective was the damage reduction. But I don't know if that's wrong. I would love to read the comments about it.
I don't know. I know I speed reduction. I know I hear is something because I see people try to get it on their subs all the time.
Yeah, I don't. Is that for EHP or for Glass Cannon
To
though?
be fair, I good option. I don't know. That's what I haven't dived into it because I don't have it yet. Um,
I feel
and
like
sometimes
the
things
more I
change
hear
before
about
I get my hands on the tool. So
the
I'm
longer it takes to hit you though, that would be good for um,
gonna see if I can nuke this.
anybody.
I'm gonna see if I can catch this fleet and nuke it. He's coming up. One more wave.
Oh, in your tower, I see.
Yeah, and then I can go back and look at the thing. Here he is. There he
Oh,
is. Oh yeah, no, this one. I think that's the commander, right? I don't even remember these. Yeah, he's strengthening everyone up. All right, see ya. Good thing I had nuke on for the event mission. I don't normally carry nuke on farming, so that saved me.
comes in clutch.
Yeah. Okay. Um, so labs are another thing that can make a huge difference, right?
Yes.
See where you've done so far.
So I got, like I was mentioning earlier, I got coins at kill bonus. I've had that on for quite a while. Flamebot for so long, and it still has another
Oh my
over two
goodness. I
weeks
don't want
left.
to know. I don't want to. There's what? That's a long time. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
about to hit those 2 days coming up, or 2 levels.
yeah. I don't know what your lab speed is compared to mine, but it's like 28 days for the 24, and then I'm guessing it's gonna be close to 28, 29, 30 days for the 25, which at times four, uh, that's like closing in on 14 days. But for you, times five, that shouldn't be too bad.
Also, I think it's going to start lower because I have 100 lab speed.
You lab, yeah, triple, yeah, yours would be a lot lower then. I didn't put this in for just the video. I can prove it for the history. I knew as soon as you messaged me back, I was like, gosh darn it, this is uh but it goes back to,
Yeah, I think it was
where
like
is it?
the 20th or so. The 21st is when you sent somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So you've been running it.
310 here is when I put it in for the, so it was it was a while back. I've been running for a few days. Oh, what the heck is that? Just trying to get it up because I want to start doing the Shatter Shards labs, but my Shatter Shards labs are like 50 something days.
Yep. So that's one thing that I think that's one advice I have too with people is to like just try to stick it out. I know it's like feels like a pain. I feel like I've been good about being patient and just running these long labs until they're done. Um, eating the vegetables, as they say, taking our vitamins.
Yeah. I upped my coins a kill discount because I want to start getting into the card masteries, and I my coin income isn't the most, so I figured that'd be a good way to drop the price on those. Then I was gonna just eat my vegetables with a slab speed, just leave it in that bottom slot, forget about it until it's 100 because I need to.
Your
And my
attack speed. You can work on attack speed too. Add that. That's what I made a note on that. Add it to the list to put back on eventually because it does everything. Um,
Yeah, it's been a few months since I've touched that. I should.
so if you're stacking percent anything or damage reduction stuff later, more chances for that to go off. So just yeah, attack speed will be good to definitely max at one point.
Yeah, it was like 35, and then later last year, like November, December time, I took it all the way up to 50, and I haven't touched it since then. Maybe I should probably take it to like 75
Like one day we'll have chain lightning plus.
one day. And then my damage lab, I put this in when I like started the tower back in 2024, and I'd only play collecting my daily mission slabs. I had this in the lab the entire time, and it just leveled up to level 50, and I never had it with like no stone speeding it up, nothing like that. It was just pure 1 second is 1 second. But I haven't touched that probably since 2024.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I actually just recently did mine like 6 months ago. Crit factor is a better one though if you do any of those. But if you're EHP right now, then those aren't that significant.
Yeah.
Some people
I
don't even
should get
have
my.
them. There's a guy in Discord, Mindax, that we talked with a
Mhm.
lot, and he helps me with stuff. He's in the guild too. Um, he has like very few, like very little damage at all. I don't even think his labs are done at like any. I think he has like zero.
Yeah, mine are. When I first started, I put that in because I thought like, oh, it's a tower defense damage would be the way to go. I wasn't watching any videos. I had no knowledge of the game whatsoever, so I threw that in, and
Oh, I
then
did a little
I
in the beginning
wasn't.
too, because everything you think everything's good, right? Everything all helps to
Yeah,
build, so it's all gonna
the new
help.
upgrades, you
Yeah.
you see something new, you think it's gonna be the best thing.
But yeah, so defense, the 61 health, 59 regen. Of course, I would say, keep working on those if you're EHP.
Yes, I need to put more into the health. I just recently put it from 50 to 60.
But those are
I need
pretty
to keep
high.
going
Those are
with it,
good. Those are good numbers.
and then I want to get my wall fort up too. That's another one I was thinking of.
Yeah, fort's pretty high. That's pretty good too. A lot of people don't even have some of these as high as you, so that's pretty good.
It's just with the like being one hit, like I was mentioning with the damage or the coins and health trade off. The wall fort and the health were like my two
I
labs that I was thinking of.
Wall fort was bigger. I want to say it felt like the bigger gains when I was leveling. Like every time it hit a wall fort, it was a big chunk.
From the like I was kind of doing it out on the calculator, and if my math was correct, the wall fort should be a better bang for my buck, but it is also 3 days longer, but still better return.
And then your region's
Uh,
good. That one's so long.
yeah,
It's ridiculous.
I need region for my tournaments. That's my biggest issue on tournaments is the region. Biggest issue on farming is the overall health. I hear that's common.
Yeah. I'm still in that point.
Here's my big flex. I got max interest level. I thought that was going to be the best thing since sliced bread when I first started, and I maxed it.
Wow, I didn't even notice that when I looked over the thing. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
it's
Wait, did I think I did write that actually. Let me see my notes. No,
my pride
I
and
should have.
joy.
I should have like interest, exclamation mark.
Hey man, it actually gives you some money if you like save up like 100,000 and you don't drop below 100,000 for the first like 10 waves, you'll make about double what you would have made the first 10 waves. And after
The
that,
only
it's
one, the
completely
only note I
useless.
made was RCP max. I was like, you should get recovery package chance,
Oh yes, yeah, yeah. I wanted to do that when I
especially
rolled
if
an
you're G comping.
ancestral. Yeah, especially with GComp. I wanted to do that when I got an ancestral package chance mod or substat, and then I spent like 300,000 sub or shards and didn't get it, and I got really upset, and then I just never put it in.
Well,
But I
like
definitely,
definitely, it'll
I was
help
looking
too
at that when I clicked this one.
once you get to masteries too, because you're gonna eventually
Yeah,
want the shards from the mastery. So
yeah. I was looking at it when I clicked this one, and I was like, I need to do this one in as well. Only reason I put this in was because, like I mentioned earlier, I didn't notice I clicked the flame bot, and that's what was actually the reason for my coin gain. I thought it was my enemy level skip. Click on enhancement, so I was like, let me max out my lab too, and
yeah.
I put it in. But I'm stubborn, so once I put something in, I don't like to take it out.
Well, and that's close. I think it only goes to 20, right? Finish that for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it
dude,
does.
finish that.
It was
It's not
like
a long one.
less than a week.
Because that was good under ultimate weapons. Let me see what I did. Oh yeah, I put. I know it's hard, but finish GTB. It looks like your GT bonus isn't done
Oh
yet, right?
yes,
Yeah, yeah. I know that one's hard.
yeah, that would definitely be a big coin gain.
Um,
I was thinking this between this and the coins a kill bonus. Those are like the two that I was in between when I put the coins a kill in.
I looked at it. My perspective was I looked at it as like econ first, and then everything else second. I know a lot of people play the game in different, perspectives in the way they play and handle things, but I looked at it as like the more money I could make, the more I could spend on the other stuff. So I just always tried to buff everything first. Like I had my GT bonus done. I want to say like whatever. I don't know. 9 months into playing the game. I don't know. It was like last
Wow.
May. I
Yeah,
just left that going forever.
I haven't touched it in a long, long time. I got it up to 3 times when I got like my Death Wave coin bonus max. Um, and it got to the point which this is, I believe, like I don't know which lab I clicked. Yeah, so 13 days. That's starting out. So that's not really
Yeah,
that
it's not.
long of a lab to really get done.
It
It wouldn't
definitely
take
was
too.
felt longer earlier. Now it's not compared to some of the labs I'm seeing and running these days. 13's not bad.
Yeah, yeah. It was back in the day when I like first got it, and I haven't really touched it since then. So I'll definitely throw it in
Yeah,
once I get
keep that one on the radar.
econ. Then the chrono field reduction. I was really wanting to take it to max, but the time of it just gets so absurdly long. Another 5 levels at 25 days plus would be
And that last
a
ones are
while.
probably in the 30s, 35 days.
Yeah. And then Death Wave health. And we can always up that more health in the farm run.
Since you're in Champions still, that's definitely good. Ever since I've left Champions, like I mentioned earlier, like I've missed Deathwave health. You don't ever see
I
it
don't
anymore.
get it to max. That's my issue. Like I'd really need the substat for more death waves, more quantity.
Oh yeah,
As I,
that's.
as I can't get it to max. I get
Do
it to
you,
like times 6.
do you use wave skip?
Yes, I do.
So what I would do when I would, especially when I'm trying to get as high as I can, I know it's like painful, is I don't throw on wave skip until late. And well, at least when I was doing that in champions, I would throw like wave skip
Oh,
on late because you're skipping waves
yeah.
earlier in the run that are low mod effort. You know, they're cheap, like they're easy to
Yeah.
you know, they
Low
don't hurt
health
you,
enemies.
and you can absorb more of the cheaper ones than later on. So it'll boost your death wave up some health.
I've never thought about that. I'll definitely start doing that.
It's a little bit of
I
painful because it does suck. It makes the run slower. Like it would be hilarious as I'll get there and you'll look and you're like, everyone's already 1,000. I'm still like 800, but my death wave is a lot higher than yours probably.
On my luck, I'd forget to turn it off, and it would be like wave 300, 400
I
halfway
mean,
through my run.
realistically, the only time it makes a huge difference is like right near the end, right?
Yeah, skipping a boss I would have
During
otherwise
for
killed you.
for for a tournament anyway. I mean, yes, you want to get out of the tournament as fast as you can, so you like to farming. But I meant like it's not gonna help. It's more like especially during your demon mode and those kinds of things at the end. You want to skip as many waves as you can while you're in invulnerability mode and right near
Yeah.
the end, skip as much as you can. Skip a boss wave, yeah. But up until those first like 90% of your run, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I never thought about that. I just recently started taking off, like you were mentioning, turning off my chain lightning and all that sort of thing to build up my. What I was doing it for is my berserker damage card to get 8 times damage, so that my death wave damage is higher. But that's
Yeah.
it didn't increase it too much when I
Nah,
started doing
yeah.
that.
I one trick I would do that I earlier to keep well, you could turn off chain lightning too, but if you throw on the range card right on the beginning, I don't know if you ever noticed that.
Hmm.
Like throw on range card, the first thing, when your death wave goes out, then take off range card, and then every death wave refresh keeps refreshing the death wave way outside your tower range so that there's no chance you're shooting anything. I don't think you're shooting anything anyway, but
Really?
it's just like a just something to keep everything even further away. Um,
I didn't know that. I'll definitely do that.
I don't remember why someone mentioned that before. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if your bullets don't even. I think you're still hitting death wave first. There was some reason someone mentioned it to me, but I was doing that back when I was in Champion League, and I noticed that it was helping because it just keeps the
Yeah.
death wave refreshing.
Yeah,
Oh, oh
I
wait.
didn't know that that's how that worked. I've never really used the range card, but I swap out like the cash for a slow back and forth once I don't need cash anymore and I have everything maxed out, so I can swap for range at the start and then swap it back.
Or maybe it was make sure the orbs were not outside of it. Either way, it was. I think that's what it was to keep it out of your orb range.
Yeah, orbs are doing the most killing of enemies, especially in my black hole.
And you want your death wave to absorb everything, at least while the death wave is permanent.
Yeah, it's actually one tapping the enemies.
So
And then I
yep.
up my death wave damage amplifier. Didn't really notice too much of a difference in my overall death wave health from that either, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything in that. I think someone told me because I asked things in my videos. I'm like, should I do this? And people are like, no. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'll take their what they say and then go and search like Reddit or the Discord and get some more corroborating
Yeah.
evidence. And I'm seeing like, oh yeah, no, they're all saying no. Don't worry about it.
Saw somebody had it on their death wave. I don't even remember who, but I was like, oh, and theirs was way higher than mine. It was probably like level 15. And I got it to this point, and I was like, these levels are taking too long for the return that I'm seeing, which is minimal. So I just stopped it.
And your scatter amp's good. That's higher than mine, but scatters aren't really an issue for me.
I mean, scatters are pretty much scatters and rays are my two biggest issues in terms of like what kills me every time. But my chain lightning damage is far
You're
too
only running
low.
that in the tournament though, right? Chain lightning.
Am I only supposed to be?
I don't know. Do you run it in farming? No, I don't. I have it off in farming.
I mean, I do have it on in farming, but um, I didn't, I've never really thought about turning it off, to be honest.
Yeah, try that. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
I'll
think I've
try
ever
turning it
farmed
off.
with it since I unlocked it.
No, now that you pointed out, I kind of see what you mean. I've just never thought about turning it off in a farming run, but yeah, there is no point to have it. if I'm killing everything with, yeah. And I
Well,
thought
plus
this
then
might
also your
help with
bullets
it, but it
that
didn't.
ricochet outside of the tower and hit stuff out there and chain lightning it. I don't want those dying outside of the black holes in the tower range. And that
True,
can happen.
true. Yeah, I
I
was
think that's
thinking it
part of
might
it.
help with the scatters towards the end,
Oh no,
but
for
they have
sure. A
so
lot
much
of
health
people
that
tell
it
me turn it
didn't.
on at the end. That's always been the advice, but I don't manage my runs like that and go and turn stuff and change stuff too much. Um, like right now, I'm running like they say that it's not a great to run landmine stun the whole time for some reason. I think with permanent black hole, it's less of a problem, but they say you don't want to run landmine stun the entire time because it lowers your coins or something. Just turn it on at the
Hmm.
end. But I'm the kind like I don't have time to manage my runs at the end every time, so
Yeah, I only really manage my tournament runs. I don't look at my farming runs too much.
well, try that if
Um,
you're running EHP. I
yeah,
feel like I've noticed, especially as you get to depending where you're running though, because I did do better with higher damage lower in the earlier on, but as my hit points and as my region got stronger, I noticed lowering the damage and letting stuff just die on its own has been helpful.
yeah, I've never thought about turning off. I'll definitely try that. See if I see any coin difference. See if it goes up a lot faster in those lower waves where there's not as many enemies spawning.
And then looks like in cards, that was the other thing. You got pretty much all your basics, your orb adjusters, the extra hit. I mean, the second one blast will be good. You'll definitely want to pick that up eventually, even if you're not
Second,
using
this.
yeah, even if you're not using the recharge second one.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
it's like a nuke. It's like if when it blows off, when it blows up, it nukes the screen.
yeah. I've never really looked at that one to be honest. But yeah, it's pretty short. That'd be good to just max out also for
There's only
the
4 levels of it.
yeah,
But once
just get
you
it
get
max
it
full
to
box.
4, it's just basically like a nuke that goes off when you die, or when the second one goes off. So it clears
Mhm.
like a buildup of all of the stuff, all the mobs that are built up, and it'll extend. It gives you a few extra waves, especially in tournaments. Um, they
Yeah.
rebuild, even if like I'm to the point where my this stuff's gonna wreck my region. My region's still too good. Like, or the region's not good enough. I mean, even in tournaments, if the second wind blast goes off, like it takes forever for everything to rebuild back up, like all the fasts and everything, multiple waves. I don't know. It helps.
Yeah, that is smart because usually when my it goes off and then I have like 40 seconds or whatever, and then within 2 waves after the fact, I'm usually using my demon mode because at that point they're hitting for so much that uh, it's pretty much wraps. So I use my demon mode pretty quickly after because there's so many enemies on the screen. I've never even really looked at that. I've always kind of glossed over it. My entire the cards category as a whole, pretty much, I've kind of glossed over most of it uh, in terms of labbing.
Well, so one thing that does, like, so having second wind blast leveled up and then your recharge second wind fully maxed,
Yeah.
what that allows, like what it allows me to do here is you don't even need it max. You just need it 500. Well, I guess 500 or 1,000. You just needed 1,000 for tier 14. Um, but at when the fleet hits your tower and pops your second win every 1,500, well, his first one's at 1,500 and then it's every 1,000 after that, or it's 1,495 and then every 1,000 after that. And it's like a free nuke that just automatically kills the fleet for you. So once you start leveling up and you start farming higher tiers, you'll definitely want that. That'll be a strategy for later. But right
Yeah.
now, it's not going to make a difference having your recharge second win up. To be honest, that doesn't do anything at like tier 12.
I
Even
would have never
max,
thought
it's
about that.
400 waves. Unless you have the second win mastery, then it would be something. But
Yeah, I would have never thought about the tier 14 having the cooldown down for, and then the blast to kill the actual fleet itself. So that is smart. I should get it up.
yeah, well,
Uh,
I think you're still
but
you're a few tiers from there, but it's going to be around the
yeah,
corner
2 months
sooner
away.
than you think.
Yeah. The only reason I have my recharge demon mode is because like if I pop into a run that because like I use my main phone, so if
Yes.
I stop running and then I come back to my run and it's reloads itself in and everything has to reopen back up, I have to pop it instantly.
Yep, that's the
But
only reason
that's
I maxed it just for the heck of it and not even using it yet. There's a similar thing with the demon mode card later on mastery. It'll
Yeah,
recharge itself every 500 seconds or 300 seconds, whatever the cooldown
keys and
is.
all that sort of thing.
But yeah, I'm not there yet. I just did it to get it out of the way.
Yeah, that's glass cannon far down the line.
Yeah.
Uh,
Waves required, I hear is good at 21. That's where I stop. If you do it like 13 and 21, I hear are two good numbers. But um, outside of that, like your auto pick is good and your bands are pretty good. I went
yeah,
to
well,
7. I think seven's a little excessive, to be honest.
no, the more I hear you talk about it, the more I want more bands because like I feel especially when doing milestone runs, I feel like if I get better perks in a milestone run, that just makes all the difference. So it's just having more bands is better odds to get
So I
that.
have 21 wave required and 7 bands, and I get my last perk at like 2900 or something like that. I don't know the exact wave. I just know I've looked at it before at 2900 and they're done.
Wow, I think mine are like I don't really know to be honest. Probably closer to 4,000. I don't know. I've never really looked.
Because you can
Yeah,
start banning, like I have banned 2 trade-offs and then 5 common perks. So you can ban ones with like 5 and then you ban like to have 5 choices. That's why the
what
more bans you add, there's eventually a diminishing return depending what you're banning. Yeah, like
you
so
said
if
you
you have
banned
interest
two.
in cash, those are good.
Which one? You said you only banned two of these. Which
Yeah,
one's the one that you
so like well you don't have you said you're not well you do have permanent black hole. So if you're running permanent black hole, you don't need the lifesteal knockback. You can swap that out.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because what's knockback matter if you have permanent black hole? Everything's chilling in the black hole. I mean, knocking back the scatters and stuff, there's could be some to say on that, but I don't think it makes a difference. They're gonna die to thorns most likely anyway. You're not
Yeah, I
knocking
mean,
them back to kill them. You're
at
just
the at the point where it gets to where they can kill me, there's so many of them stacking up because it's 100% spawn on all types that
yeah, but the
the knockback
knockback at
doesn't
that
really.
point isn't doing anything, right?
Yeah, it's not keeping up with all of them.
So you try that then, because I mean, I guess everyone's tower is a little different. Try that, see if your next run with it does all right. If they build up too early and start killing you, then that might be bad. But um, I found that helped removing that perk, and I remember doing that a long time ago. So I want to say I don't think it's gonna hurt you because I did that a long time ago. Um,
Yeah, if I mean, I got perma black holes too, so pretty much everything uh, in my black hole, like all the what you may call it, crowd control gets taken care of from that, and the scatters. I don't notice any difference between my knockback at the point of like 7,500 plus. At that point, they really get to my tower with minimal impedance, so I
Yeah,
don't
and
be
there's a
taking
point
away
when
the
they're
knockback
even
until
surrounding the
late.
tower. They're not really hurting you at that point. I mean, even for a while, right? It's like it hits to a point where all of a sudden the damage scales on them, and now they're hurting you. But until then, they're
Yeah,
just built up on
it's
your
just
tower.
being
Yeah.
out healed by the region. Yeah,
So yeah, that could
got
help. Uh,
need to
your
finish
golden bot. I'm
this, but
surprised you got
it takes
cooldown max
forever.
before duration on your golden bot.
Was it because my duration so high? No, the duration. The reason I didn't is because when I was working on this, I wasn't making near enough coins to have 60 trillion. That 60 trillion was a pipe dream for me at that
Oh, I
point.
didn't even think. So the cooldown was cheaper. Okay.
Yeah, the cooldown was way cheaper. I was saving up for like multiple farming runs just to get from 7.5 to 8. So I was like, nah, 8 to 8.5 isn't worth it. And at this point now, I could throw it in, but 28 days for half a second on that, I have better things I could really use it with. I really just want this done.
Yeah.
And then
Enemies. No, I don't have anything in that either.
yeah, haven't touched that.
So,
And then
and
here's my most
modules.
neglected.
You definitely can work on some of that, like that common drop chance. There,
Yes, I wanted to swap out my module shard cost when it finishes for the rare drop chance. That was gonna go to this, and then I was
so,
gonna go to the common. I've
yeah, the
heard the
shard
rare was
cost is
better, unless
important.
I'm
Keep, I
wrong.
don't want to say take that out. Definitely do it before coin. I would do both those drop chances as soon as possible, though.
Which one would be better to do first? So I've heard rare, but I'm not sure.
I did common and then rare. I don't know.
Common?
I
Yeah,
maxed common and then I maxed rare.
it is a lot quicker too.
You're going to be shattering. The rares are for shattering anyway, so I don't know what's the best ROI on that, but you want both of those max. So those are important ones.
Yeah, well, I'm like just now getting to the point where I've started thinking about shattering modules. I have all my epic modules above mythic to where they can. I don't need any more legendary pluses, and any that I don't have to mythic, I have legendary pluses stocked up for them already, like preemptively. So I've just started shattering them, but I really don't want to until I get my shatter shards up. But 51 days. I mean, even if I threw that in right now, that's almost 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, that's
It's
another one
just
that's like eat the
20%.
vegetables and get it done. It sucks.
Yeah, I really want to get my the lab speed a little bit higher before I throw that one in. I don't know, even like 2.2 instead of 2.06. I noticed this goes down like drastically with every level. It goes down like 10 hours.
Yeah, I would definitely maybe do something to work on cells too, like we were talking about earlier, because that is that way you can get these faster. Get them. I see you had a couple things that were 3 time. Um,
Yeah.
ooh, the mods. Yeah, so the mods that you did not have black hole digester, right?
Uh,
Not
the
ancestral. Okay, yeah, it's mythic.
mythic.
How many are
Yes.
away from ancestral on that?
Uh, 4.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah, I have none others.
I hear a lot of people say like clouded videos, and they've said that like it took a long time for people to get their like to tweak their tower to get their digester to work good, their black hole digester. Um,
I got
you already
two.
have most of your timing lining up with your cooldowns because you're getting close. Like you're closer than I was when I was ready to switch to it. Um,
Yeah, I want to like get it all at 100, which I'm just one click away. But then, like I was mentioning, when you were talking about getting an extra cooldown for my black hole, so that my black hole can be permanent still.
yeah, if you get a
And
mythic
then
on that, that would be a permanent black hole. Yeah,
yeah,
and you could use the digester.
which I've also been thinking about getting um, an extra spotlight and then ancestral angle. Thought that would be nice for my coins.
I would
That's
probably do so if it was mine on there. I don't know. I don't have much to say about the chrono field because people. That's I don't. But I would probably end up. I know it sucks because you already got an ancestral, but I wouldn't have bonus. I'd probably have the angle first and the duration though. I would if I was yours. I wish I could swap the golden tower bonus for duration.
the bonus on the for.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like the
No, the
ancestral.
ancestral golden tower bonus is kind of like the last thing you want to pick up.
Yeah, I got this right when the Primcy came out, the event.
No, I
I,
know you don't want to re-roll it,
I
right?
got
Because you
it,
got
and
it. You're like, I don't want to try.
yeah, it was like the first module I ever had ancestral, and it was a lot more advanced than all my other modules. I was still pretty early on in my tower journey, so I didn't know everything that I was doing, and I rolled all these, and I really haven't touched it too much except for adding this one. I've been saving up a lot of reroll shards for when I get to 141, and I was thinking about keeping the 2 durations and then re-rolling this one and this one out. One of them was spotlight angle that I wanted, and then another one was the death wave quantity.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's almost exactly what I have on mine.
And you're saying also get death wave or sorry black hole cooldown as well.
Yeah. See, I have
So that
black
would
hole cooldown. That brings my because I actually was 48 duration with 47 cooldown. I only needed a legendary. I just happened to get mythic. Um, I just needed 2 seconds.
yeah, that would be nice instead of spending what would that be like 800 stones for 3 seconds, somewhere 600, 800, somewhere
Yeah,
in
no.
there.
So for mine, it's 700. I already did 750 for me to even get 2 seconds to get rid of this. So it's like 700. I think it's 750 or 700 stones or the one sub, and I'm like.
I
I'm
could
using
click it
the
right
sub.
now and make it to where I only have to get a legend. No, I'm not gonna do that.
Because you're at
And then maybe
31 and I'm at 34.
a 7 second 7 second duration would be nice. That's an extra 5.
Yeah, 34. Yeah, but I mean, that's going to just take some time. I
Yeah.
think the bigger increase there would be when it came with if you can get rid of Gcomp eventually. Because I noticed a big jump when I went from Gcomp to Black Hole Digester. It was a big
Yeah.
jump. And
Yeah,
now,
I
whenever I'm doing testing on stuff, if I go back and use Gcomp, that's not as good. You get
even with
better
it
cells though with it. You do get better
even
cells.
with it mythic, I was wanting to use it, but I just want to have the cooldown synced up before I do, so I could have it permanent. The permanent black hole's the only stickler with me not being able to swap this for that.
And try it, yeah. And
Yeah.
then you don't have a sharp fortitude, right? What's your armor?
No, I need one
Oh,
more sharp fort, and I could get it mythic, and I would throw this trash and no, sorry, I would throw this away um, in a heartbeat. But right now, I'm just using this because it's my only mythic or ancestral rather, and it has ancestral substats. This is what I use for farming my orbital augment. Not farming, rather tournaments. I
okay,
see
yeah.
better results with this in tournaments, unless it has like um, the orbs don't really hit they don't do damage, then I don't see this one doing too much. I kind of find this one better. But I usually do 2 tournament runs with each one to see which one's better.
I would expect the orbital augment as well, probably.
And with it, I mean, I don't know what else I could really throw in for instead of lifesteal and orbital augment. I don't know
I
if it has anything that's good with it.
I wouldn't worry about it at that point. With it being mythic, I wouldn't roll too much into it.
Yeah, I just really want another sharp fortitude. That would change everything. That would make my life so much better. RNGesus doesn't want to give it.
Thorns, that's what you don't have, right? You don't have thorns on it? Okay.
Uh,
Not that one.
no, I don't have thorn. I don't have thorns on any of them.
Yeah.
I have a life
I was
steal,
like, what do I have
defense.
that okay.
Thorn, yeah, that would be good to have. Yeah, I put extra orb on this one because of the effect on it, the unique
Sure. Or
effect.
speed, yeah.
And then I know I have shockwave frequency on this one. This is what I used to use before I got orbital augment up to mythic, but it was not very good, being that I'm not close to glass cannon. And then this is my farming because it has the attack speed, but for tournaments I throw in death penalty.
That's my favorite for milestones or in tournaments. I don't think it really makes a difference. I use shrink ray. I just um
I don't even have a legendary shrink ray,
I just use a legendary.
but I need just 2 of those. Yeah, I
I don't
don't.
think it really matters too much for your damage on your cannon.
No, I mean my damage is so low. Like it really is. Uh, it doesn't do much. Like I'll click on the boss bar to see what my chain lightning versus everything else is doing, and it's really just the orbital augment or my thorns that does everything. And then if we get lucky and there's not a pulse, what's it called? Not a debuff to the pulse the plasma cannon, then my plasma cannon actually does something. But if it doesn't, then you know, fun.
I mean, on this, I would just probably stay with what you're using for those, and then just keep wait. It's hard to say, wait for Sharp Fortitude and Black Hole Digester, but like those two, if once you can get those, that's when I would focus on changing and re-rolling your stats on them until you get them. Like even the Prim C, we're talking about the permanent black hole. While you're using G Comp, who cares about that stat? I mean, I wouldn't worry about that right now. Unless somebody and can leave a feedback on that. I don't know if it's worth using over the generator. What's it called? The mythic generator. If it's worth re-rolling the mythic, someone if you had good success with a mythic black hole digester over a ancestral G comp, let me know. I didn't test it, so I don't really can't tell you if that would be even worth re-rolling it.
Yeah, I mean,
It's only
I'm
mythic
getting
though, so it shouldn't cost too
relatively
much.
close. Yeah, the mythic to ancestral, I wouldn't care about the 7 to 10%. That it'd be a nice buff, but it wouldn't be. And
Yeah,
then
but you're
like dropping two
missing.
mythic
Yeah, that in
substats,
combination with that's what I mean. You're missing your ancestral substats and that buff. It's a combination of. That's why I was like, I don't know
maybe
if it's gonna be worth it.
2% attack levels. It goes like 6 to 8, right, from mythic to ancestral,
Yeah,
or is it 4 to 8? I forget.
and you get
Uh,
the extra slot. I want to say, right? Don't you can't you get that higher, or is it you can go to 140 or 120 with mythic?
I can get a 161 here, or I can get 160 with this, which I don't even have
Oh yeah,
160. I would
okay.
get to
It's been
141,
a
so that'd be
minute.
good.
You can't go to 161. That's
It
right.
must be nice. Must be nice. uh, no, like 2% attack level skip over like 8,000 waves would come out to like what, 160 waves, which at the top end, that's like close to 3,000, 4,000 cells probably. Uh,
It might be worth
so I mean
trying it though.
that's
It don't cost a lot to re-roll mythic subs,
yeah.
and
I would
generators
have
only
to
need
I
3,
have to reroll this before I do to get the
4.
black hole down, so I can still have permanent.
Yeah, but like, yeah. I don't know. That's why it did take a lot of effort, and you only got 400k. So
Well, I'm getting the shard cost down. I'm working on it, trying to get because I was so close. I figured I'd throw that in to try to get to
yes, that's a good time to
141.
do it. That's when I did it when I was around 120, and that's huge for what's it called? Your economy as well, because you're going to increase your multiplier for your
Yeah,
coins. You're going to increase your multiplier for your hit points on
yeah, I
your
have noticed a big difference. It's been a kind of an econ for getting my multiplier up right here. I've been wanting to get it to 750, and I've got it from 700 to 747 in probably like I don't even know no less than 2 weeks. It's been very very quick for this to go up. Just having this lab in, getting more levels up on my actual generator.
yeah, and the hit points. Like I was saying, like that one. If you can get that starred too, like every time you add a star to it, it's huge.
Don't know.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
I don't,
that's
I,
all stuff out of your control, and it's gonna
yeah, I
be
don't have
better
any
when you
more
can
of
get
those.
it as a sharp fortitude anyway. That's gonna be better.
Do you have? This is my only star right here. Is on my cheek because I got the
Each time,
event.
I didn't
I
notice
got
that at first, but each time it does that, it adds more to your multiplier.
yeah. I got crazy lucky with this event. I think I spent like 4,000 stones and I got like 8 of them, 9 of them. And then I forget which was the other event that came out after that. Um, I did not think it was this one. I did not get nearly as lucky. As you can see, I still only have a legendary.
Yeah.
I also didn't try for that one as much because it's not as good for what you may call it, HP. Yeah. Really just want to get. I've been saving up the reroll shards. I don't know how you have so many reroll shards because I have max level on this. Granted, I got it not too long ago, relatively recently, but my reroll shards just go up so slow.
Well, I mean, I
That's
stay at a million, and then I just had 200. I had 1,200,000, and I rolled 150k on the trying to get an ancestral spotlight angle, and I didn't, and then now I'm
don't
back
tell
at
me that.
50k.
I just said
Um,
I wanted to roll for ancestral spotlighting. Well, don't give me the bad mojo.
it took yeah, it was 150k, and I was like, okay, let me stop at 50. I'm keeping a million so that I can just up like whenever I get like Dimension Core or Amp Strike or something else, when one of these gets ancestral, I can re-roll it. That's what I'm saving them for.
Yeah, I think I'm 2 dim cores off of ancestral. My dim core is actually. Oh, that's not that. No, I'm 3 dim cores off ancestral on that still.
Our modules kind of shape our tower of destiny, right?
Yeah,
Depending what modules you get,
heavily,
is really it
definitely.
diverges what path you take.
Yeah, I was using like uh Multiverse Nexus, I think, until I got Prim C. That was my main my main module is to keep everything aligned, keep all the cooldowns synced. That's how early on that I was when I actually got this. Everything else was still legendary, and then I managed to get an ancestral core. It was a very big upgrade. But ever since then, I've just been slowly grinding it out. Gonna burn some incense and pray for another sharp fortitude.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the biggest ticket. Like if you can get that, I mean, of course, my perspective's a little biased as being the EHP farming and the black hole. Like I'm very similar to what you're doing, sort of, but just because you got the Prim C and you're on full permanent black hole. But just I feel like replacing the G comp and getting sharp fortitude would be a huge boost for that play style. Because I noticed it was when I got black hole digester going and turned on.
And I just maxed out my cards in this last event too, so it makes it to where I don't have to spend any more gems on cards ever again, and I can focus only on my modules. So I can start actually pulling a lot more of those and have a little bit better of a chance. So I don't think I was maxed out in cards when I sent you those screenshots.
That's right, you weren't. Yep, I see that.
Yeah, that's how recently I did that.
And you got an extra card slot, so that's good.
Yeah, that was a big. That took me a while to save up for. I don't like to save gems.
I was gonna mention to max them out, but some people like to balance and do it with the event. But the event mission will just be instant now, so that's cool.
Yeah, I was always doing that for a while, just like only buying 160 every 2 weeks, and that'd be the only amount I would spend on gems. And I did that for months and months, almost a year probably. And then I looked at it and I kind of did the math, and I was like 4,800 gems away. And I was like, let me just start saving up and only put my gems into coins for a while and just get that knocked out instead of waiting the next 4 events before I finally max it naturally through the events. I'd rather have it done quicker. My econ's also getting to the point where I'm thinking about throwing in a mastery to one of these and starting the lab on that. So I needed to have a max so I could see the masteries. I
So
don't know which
yeah,
one I
but
want to do.
it's very expensive.
Oh
That's
yeah, I
that's the
know.
only thing I'd say on that. Like it is expensive
I
to
know.
afford them.
It would require like multiple days of saving for one level. Yeah, but I make like 100 trillion a run at this point. Yeah, 100 trillion, 10 trillion an hour. So at 10 hours, so I get like almost at my rate, I get like almost 2 done a day, close to 200 trillion a day.
I think the
It would
first
take.
level for level 1 is a Q.
That's why I got the. That's why I spent so much time into my discount. I got a 10% discount.
Yeah, it's a good idea to get ahead of that earlier.
Yeah, that's 100 trillion right there. That's 10 hours. But I think it goes up to like 2, 3 really quickly. So to get it max level card, that would be kind of a long shot. But to get at the first few levels on a card mastery, to build my econ, make it to where I can farm tier 13 a little bit more consistently, and get more coins an hour, and then kind of snowball from there.
Oh yeah, let's look at
Which I
your
was thinking.
scroll through your active cards real quick. Put that back on. Yeah.
Second wind was the one I was thinking about for health regen, but also after I swapped out that card, now I'm thinking more. I need max health. My active cards are for farming. I don't know why it's not. Let me scroll at the top. So it'd be attack speed, health, health regen,
Because I noticed you're using
coins.
slow. I don't use slow when farming.
I mean, I just have it in there because I have chrono field, and I just like the double slow, and then of course balance, extra defense, coin, extra orb. Extra orb was the one I threw in most recently when I got my 16th slot. I got the 16th slot mainly for my tournament runs. But for my farming, I just figured extra orb would be nice because of the module that I'm running. And then free upgrades, wave skip, stun, package chance, second wind, demon mode, and wave excel.
So
And then
the only thing like I would try to figure out one time, maybe slow, maybe instead of slow, because I don't think slow does a lot for farming.
mhm.
You're a permanent black hole anyway. Is plasma cannon? You don't have plasma cannon on, so
Yeah,
think about it. It takes off like 50% of the boss's damage, so you're taking off I think like an extra ticks of theirs, so they die faster.
yeah.
So that's one. That's the only. I mean, I use plasma cannon to kill the bosses faster in farming.
In farming, I've never really seen an issue with the bosses. It's always just the scatters or the rays. In tournaments, the bosses are the biggest issue for sure. But in
Hmm.
farming, they're
Well, it's not a
pretty
problem per se. I guess you'd say. I don't know. That's just because they're dying in less hits.
ray scatter.
But
Uh,
yeah. Other than that, what was your go to your other
the
you're gonna switch over to your attack one just to show your
Yeah, the
tournament.
my tournament one, the plasma cannon's a huge. I always look for that. What you would call that battle condition because it definitely helps a dramatic amount in my tournament runs. That I have damage. Those are the same. I swap my cash for slow aura into the run. Uh,
Yeah.
once I get all my upgrades max, but from what you're telling me, I should probably swap it to
No, I
swap it to
put
range
slower
to
on
start
during
with.
tournaments for sure.
Yeah, put it to range to start with for to get it added up, then swap it to cash, then swap it
Well, so
over.
no, with that death wave thing, so you'll like just put range on for that first death wave only. Like once the death
Yeah.
wave goes off, you can switch it on like wave 4 or whatever the death wave triggered. You can immediately
Yes.
switch it off. Every death wave after that is going to stay at that extended range.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
know
have
that
to
might be
try
that
that
might
one.
sound confusing.
I've
Do
never
your
done that. I've never
orbs?
even heard that
Do you have
before.
orbs running outside of your range at all? What are your range you're running?
6950 is my.
Okay, so I don't think the orbs are outside your tower range, right? At that, I think
It's
it.
like right. It's right at the middle of my black holes. Where
Yeah,
my
they're
orbs
just on
are.
the inside of that tower range, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, then you should be good.
It's like kind of similar to yours. Looking at your screen right now.
Yeah, if
Um,
I remember right, I think it had to do with because if you run a lower range, then your orb is outside your tower range a little bit.
it's just outside of it. Actually, you can see here.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just outside of the range.
So yeah, theirs would be a good example then maybe. So I think if you're like watch if you're when your death
When I
wave
put
goes off.
extra orb in, it's just inside of my range.
So you watch right here when your death wave goes off. Well,
Oh,
you're
I
on
didn't put the
tier
range
11.
card on.
See how your orb's
Sorry.
outside of it?
Oh, the orb?
Yeah, you see how the orb's
Yes,
outside the
yeah,
death wave?
yes.
So like can't cancel this run and then go and put range on real quick. Just put on range and then wait for death wave to go off. Boom. Okay, so watch when death wave goes off, and then go take range off. Because you see how your orbs are
If I
now
can
inside, so the
get a
death wave's
recovery
gonna go
package.
off any minute. I guess there
Yeah,
you
if I
go.
can get a recovery package, right?
And then now you can go switch back to your
Yeah, it is
go
on the
you go
outside
take the
now.
range off. And then
It
it's
just
going to
stays out
bring
there
your
past.
tower range back in. But see how the death wave's now outside your orbs, and it's going to stay
Yeah.
there when the new death wave goes off. It refreshes it where it's currently at.
Huh. Yeah,
So
I've
in
never knew that
tournaments,
before.
it's going to be you're not orbing nothing. Like everything's getting hit on the death wave right now.
And that one that just went off added to it. Well, interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that. I'll have to run back my tournament and see.
Because otherwise, your orbs can take out some of those early wave mobs that we were talking about, and they
Yeah,
won't die to the death wave, therefore increasing your hit points.
have to run this back, see if I can get this 10 waves this guy just beat me by.
Well, I don't know if it'll make that big of a difference to get 200 waves.
Uh,
Depends where you
10 waves,
how far were
10
you in
waves, 10
your
waves.
how far were you?
No, I only need 10. I'm at 1022. He's at 1032. So I just got to get from 22 to 33
Oh, right.
pass and
Yep.
get
I
back.
didn't even think about to get extra tokens. I mean, extra stones. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to get an extra 25. That's 25 is nice.
So, what was your
Add
multiplier? Do you remember?
That run, it was. I checked it at like 700, and it was like 4.7,
Ooh, okay,
and I got
yeah.
to 1,000, so I was probably closing in on
4
6.
means there's a
So,
lot of room to go. Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of room. There's a lot of wiggle room. And that's high. That was very high. I've been before I got the click into my from 2 minutes to 1 minute 50 right here. That made a huge difference. Like just that 10-second drop and cooldown made a big difference in the actual amount that my death wave stacks up. So I imagine when I get more actual waves quantity, it's going to stack up a lot quicker. At least that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah,
But yeah, if I can
it might
start
be
doing it
still
outside the
limited with the
tower,
quantities that you have, but yeah, that's what
if
you're
I
gonna need
can
the death wave damage up,
farm it
or I mean
outside
stacked
my
up.
tower range too. That's smart. I'll have to try with outside the tower range because all the early on enemies. That's where the majority. It goes from to probably like 2 point something, 2.2, 2.4, somewhere in there. Um, before it starts to like go away every single time. They go out and then they don't really stack up anymore.
Yeah.
So, well, the biggest question that I'm really asking myself at this point is what mastery that I'm going to go for at this point. That's the next thing the big purchase I want to do. Either that or do I finish out my cooldowns on there? That would also take over 1,000 to do that. So it's masteries or cooldowns, and if masteries, what masteries? That's my big question. That's the one I've
So
been scratching.
only takeaway I might say is just due to that you're still kinda, I want to say low because you're in the you're in the queues now, lifetime finally, but um it's still not a bunch yet because it's big queues. Like I said, it's a whole queue just to do one level. So
Yeah,
they don't seem to help. At least from the ones I got, the only ones that helped right away was intro script mastery or intro script mastery. That seemed to help immediately upon unlock. They say that RC, the what's it called, or shards, recovery package, helps right off the bat if you do the math on it. But I personally didn't notice too much on the different shards. Um, but I know that's like, so what I did was went first with recovery package chance, and then I did wave accelerator, and then intro skip. And I feel
yeah.
like that
Recovery
was a
package
pretty
is
good first three.
it's like the one that everybody says every
Yeah,
video online says to get this one first. But I
I
don't
know.
know. I haven't looked into what it maxes out at in terms of the chance for a common module for every package. But
Yeah,
common
that point
modules,
four doesn't seem like a lot, right? But when you're doing
yeah.
like 10,000 waves, or well, I mean, not in one run, but throughout the day, you're doing, thousands and thousands of waves. It does that 4% adds up. You get a
It
lot of
caps out at
packages.
4. Is 4% is the
Point
top?
four. Sorry, that 0.4%. I mean, because you get a lot of packages,
Yeah, I mean it's 77% of mine currently, which
and then you got
once I
package
get
after
mine, I can.
boss. So there's that too. Like there's
Yeah, and then if
packet.
I get an extra
It'll stack
2%, like
up.
you were saying.
Um, and you get to a point where. So my only nervousness on it, like you get to a point where like it costs almost 5,000 to go up one level,
That
which is a
a
lot.
lot. Yeah, and you're maxed out on your shard cost.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
So that,
We're
and
looking
then
at
not only that, so this is so, but I was gonna say you look at the
18%.
shard cost, right, and then you also look at how much the gold costs. So that's when I was like, well, that's a lot of coin. Like I ain't worried about the shards at that point. But what you have to remember is eventually you're gonna be sharing those shards with assists.
Yeah, I want to get
Eventually.
assist so bad.
So that's one
I
reason that
really
I
was
decided
thinking,
to go with recovery package chance first, is just to say, fine, everyone says to get it. I'm going to go ahead and get it. Even if I don't, even if these shards are stacking up through the roof, eventually I'm going to get an assist. And then you can't level, like, I'll have to share some of these shards it took to get to 176 and lower this down in order to get that buffed up. So the more shards you can have, the better when that happens. So that's one reason it's a good one to get first.
Yeah,
or
I
early.
was really thinking about the second wind is you mentioned that was like the thing that pushed you over getting uh the tier 19 to get assist modules unlocked, but I don't know. I don't think my health is even close. Even if I had the extra regen, and I would be able to get to 19 and get that. Uh, but assist modules would be very nice because then I don't have to worry about doing anything of like putting this with a black hole cooldown. I could just keep this in and then throw an assist of my black hole digester, or vice versa, and keep my perma black hole because it would still have like was it 10% or sorry 10 seconds? Yeah, 10 seconds at epic. So if I threw that in at epic, it would still be the enough to push me over and have perma black hole. But that
Yeah,
doesn't
by the
seem
time
as
you get to
realistic.
there, you'll probably have other like if you have a black hole digester by then, like I hear the best
Yeah,
one is to put singularity harness secondary to the black hole digester, which is the bot range one, increases your bot range.
yeah. I just
Um,
pulled two of those like almost back to back the other day. It was so close together. It's one right
because
here
I don't
and
know if that
then
G comp
one
10
right
seconds
here.
still make a huge
Boom,
difference
boom.
for you. Yeah, that's nice. I mean, I don't have, I've never actually used it yet, but that's what I hear is going to happen. And
I
remember
used
too, when you
to
do
a long
assists,
time
it's
ago.
1,000 to unlock the slot, and it just gets epic. And then it's like another, I think it's 1,000 to unlock the next one. And then like you have to unlock incrementally the sub stats and the bonus effect. So
Yeah,
it's a lot of stones.
yeah. I would really. The only reason I was thinking about doing it is for the 10-second epic cooldown of the G comp, and then being able to run black hole digester, so I could have the coin bonus, but still have the permanent of all my ultimate weapons. But I mean, a
Yeah, but that's
thousand to unlock that is comparable to just
that's a lot of
putting
work to
a
just.
thousand.
There's an easier way to do that. Like you could
Yeah,
put that substat on there if you wanted to,
that's true. But
like a
that's
mythic
what I was thinking.
substat would give you that on the PC.
Yeah, I was thinking not as realistic of a goal. Uh,
Because that's
but
a lot of you got to get the mastery, the other mastery done, which is 1,000 too, or is it
yeah,
1,200? Which one is?
the
It's a
second
1,000.
one is
Some
a
of them are
thousand.
12. Yeah, that one's 1,000. And to be fair, I wouldn't really recommend that one yet. Even though I have it, it's the I had max regen when I got it.
Hmm.
Like I was as max regen as you could do anymore without getting a regen card or mastery or something. And even then, I barely noticed the difference.
Yeah, our regions. I can tell. I think the only thing different between yours and mine is just yours is completely maxed. Mine's not. Mine's close to that. Mine's like I said, like 40 trillion with all my
Hmm.
stats and everything. During a farming run, but
Well, see,
I
here I'm
don't have
farming right
the health
now. I got
region max level.
61.18.
Yeah,
That's what it
mine's like
is
40,
without
so
the second one.
it's a little bit lower. And then the actual wall regions are also a unseen number that's huge.
Oh, well, and also you don't have sharp fortitude. That's another multiplier.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's
So
true.
think about so what this is the 61 that I have. I multiply the 61 by the wall region, which is 29 or 2.9 right now because I have 290%. So it's 61.18 times 2.9 for wall region, and then
Yeah.
times 2.5 for sharp fortitude.
Does that not show in that number?
No,
The sharp port?
no,
No.
that's like all behind the scenes. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's
I
an
didn't know
extra
that.
multiplier on top of your base stat.
Okay, that's good to know because I would have saw that number's
And
lower
then second
and
wind's another
taken it
multiplier
off.
on that. And then region cards another multiplier on that. That's why it gets crazy.
Yeah, if I would have saw that number's lower with sharp port, I wouldn't have thought it's invisible and just taken it off. So thank you for telling
Yeah,
me
no,
that.
their sharp fortitude is you multiply this by 2.5. Whoops.
Okay. Uh, yeah, I just wasn't sure which one to get, but I guess that does make sense because upping this level as much as I have, like I mentioned earlier, has increased this coin number a huge amount. So getting this would probably help the econ a bit. And then you said intro skip as well.
Wave accelerator, intro sprint. I went with first. That just
But I don't.
chops. chops off all the low earning tier waves off of your run.
Farm up to 8,000 though. Do you think intro sprint would be a big? Because it only goes up to like 1,800 max level, right?
Yeah. You are removing the first hour when you're not gaining anything, because you know that first few waves aren't worth anything. The other thing that was cool was doing being able to quit runs when I don't get bad perks or I get bad perks.
Yeah.
Like I can
I
get
have
to
noticed the difference.
1,000 and if I don't have black hole, I don't have coin trade off, if I don't have it only takes like 10 minutes to get there. And I don't have all the perks that 75% perk wave reduction. You don't have all the I just quit and redo it again.
Yeah, it's not on here because, like I said, I did the nuke thing, so I had kind of cleared out my battle history. But I did notice a difference with different runs that I got the coin trade off at different points. There was a pretty decent difference in the actual total coins. That's another reason I was thinking about doing an extra ban perk.
I think it keep working on your cooldowns for your ultimate weapons because of the coin increase. I would say we work on your econ before doing anything else for pushing milestones, um, or even tournament for the moment. Make some more money, and then like you said, then you can get masteries once you can start earning some good money. I was
So you
told
would
that
recommend
I unlocked them
maxing out
too
the
early,
cooldown?
so that's the only reason I say that.
You got the masteries early?
Yeah, I was told that I was a little early on unlocking them.
Yeah, I was. The cooldown is a big one, and then, like I mentioned, an extra spotlight with an ancestral angle. I feel like would be a pretty decent chunk of coin difference, but I don't even know how I would begin to do the math to verify what that would do. So I'm reluctant on this one as much.
I think angle is a good one. I got 3 angles or three. I mean, not angle. Sorry, quantity. I got 3 quantities.
Yeah, the quantity from 3 to 4 is like an absurd amount, isn't it?
Yeah,
If I'm
just
not
go to
mistaken.
2 to 3 though. Think about it like it's gonna. You got 40 angle. It's gonna add 40 more when you get another beam.
Yeah, and then if I did that at the same time as I re-rolled and got an ancestral, that would add 15% to all three of them, which is another 45%. So that's like 85% total if I add quantity and angle, which would be more than double what I currently have. So I'm assuming it would double my coins, but I don't know that. So I'm reluctant to really do it.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll double, but it'll definitely increase.
Yeah. Yeah,
But that's what I would
that
probably do before doing. I wouldn't buy a mastery yet. If I was you, probably would keep focus on your yeah, bring those cooldowns like you said to the 100 in line, and then the I would do a
I
beam.
was Yeah, I was very, very close to clicking that instead of doing the 200 or sorry, 2 minute to 150 cooldown on both of those. So I was thinking about this one when I got these earlier, but I don't know. I just want to see this gold like these two. Seeing this one gold would be nice. And I know this goes down like 50 seconds, so there's not getting this one gold
Not
anytime
anytime soon.
soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I just saw a Spartan video where he got his gold box, or no, not even gold box, but it was like 1,000 or 800 for just 10-second level. It was like a minute.
I'm trying to think of anything else to like think of and cover. Do you have any questions about something else that we didn't talk about?
No, I probably should put my summon chip back in. My summon. I'm gonna respec this when I get to the cooldown that we were talking about before to 140, 100 seconds. Once I have it 100 seconds, I'll respec this at 100 seconds. I was just really dropping the cooldown for when I had it at 2 minutes. Getting two recovery packages would be 80 seconds. So this was synced with it then. It's not really synced as well anymore, but I haven't noticed it
Yeah, but if you're not
the
using
issue
G
with it.
comp, the if you're sorry, if you're using G comp right now, none of that really matters. The sync on that or even the bot don't
Yeah,
matter while you're using G comp.
I have a pretty close to permanent uptime with my golden tower. Um, like one more click in that, and I should have it ideally permanent. So I haven't really noticed an issue with the cooldown being not as in sync. But when I get it to 2 minutes, I'm probably just going to have this at 100 seconds and then max my duration out, and then just start dropping the cooldown incrementally. Uh, and don't know anything else. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah, if anyone has any advice, like I said in the beginning, leave them some feedback, please, because we want to, help everyone out here in the community.
If my chrono field is, if I've somehow missed something on my chrono field and that's why it's not doing anything, I would love to know. That's a big question I have also.
I want to say it has to do with the speed reduction, but I don't know if that's true for EHP. So hopefully someone can chime in and let us know, because that's the
Yeah.
only thing I could think of. But
Yeah,
I
I would
don't, like I
love to
said, I don't
know.
use it. So
I mean, I know it goes up to like 90% speed reduction, which is pretty intense, but 40% on EHP, logically, I don't see how it doesn't make sense in my mind that I would need it to. But if this game sometimes doesn't go based off of logic, it
for
kind of has its
sure.
own rules and
And
systems
everyone's
sometimes.
tower is a little different, and everyone's like you can be built very similar, and things are so different too, just because of
Yeah,
the little bitty variances can make a huge change.
yeah. Just tiny decisions add up to completely different towers over time.
Well,
Yeah.
this went longer. I'm gonna have to do some look through and cut up this a little bit, and hopefully get some good material that people can watch and join in the discussion, and hopefully that gives you some feedback and stuff. I'm glad you were able to join us here today. Any
Thanks for
thoughts
having me.
before you go?
Oh no, thanks for having me. I appreciate your time. Appreciate you sitting down and doing this. It was good to get some feedback and some opinions on where I should go, and can't wait to see what people say, see other people think directions I need to take. What would be better time spent in labs, better gym spent, stone spent, all that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's one thing I like about the community is that since everyone's a little different, I just kind of take a little bit of what I like and what like, oh, I like that idea and that idea sounds good, and kind of blend it together. I play the game kind of off a feeling versus like spreadsheets and doing the whole min max and the best thing I can. I kind of just use I feel like this is going to be what I want to
It's
do.
it's really funny you say that when you pull up a spreadsheet of all your labs after at the end of your videos, and I see that I'm like, that's crazy.
Well, I'm
Uh,
not doing that to come up with like the data. It was just more to look pretty on the screen.
Yeah, just for the videos. Well, it's
Yeah.
good you do. It makes it easily digestible. But yeah, I play it like as a pretty hobby type of situation. Like I said, I do it on my main device, and I don't do it 24/7. It's only when I'm not using my phone for anything else, and I don't really spend a whole too much money on it. Only really nice events every time they come around, which we haven't. I almost bought the last week's the 5% ultimate weapon damage did look good, but I didn't. And then the milestones are the only other thing that I buy really. So it'd be good to see what other people say who have similar experience.
Yeah, and it's cool to see like hear from someone that's, not as crazy as some of us. Like I say that I'm like a weirdo, like Clouded probably. Like he always says, like we're a few of like we it's all day. I'll sleep, eat, breathe, drink the tower. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'll notice the glow on the side of the room's not on. I'm like, oh, my tablet's not running. That means the tower ended. And I'll go over there and turn it back on in the middle of the night. So mine is
Yeah,
trying to run this thing all day, every day. So I'm crazy.
we do develop a sleep pattern that is unique to only tower players. That is a thing. My girlfriend calls me crazy when I'm like, "Oh, it's only going to be a week. And my upgrade's done. That's not too bad." She's like, "A week? What?" And I'm like, "Ah, oh, that's not a long one. Don't worry." She's like, "That's insane." So it's a level of patience that you develop, but it's fun.
All right. Well, again, thanks for joining here today. I hope you have a good one. And everyone out there, thanks for following along still. And we will see you next time. Take it easy. Have a good night. You say bye.
Oh, okay. I was letting you do your outro. Bye.
Bye.